Should you keep this game out of your shelves?
Kind of obvious, right?
What is obvious? Should you?
No, I mean the name, the pun on the name.
This is the review for the board game Keep the Heroes Out, the good and bad about it.
By the end of this video you will know should you keep this game out of your collection.
We have 6 heroic questions, but before we answer them, Yanis, how do you keep the heroes out?
I don't think you can.
You can't?
Well, I think we're done here. You can't keep the heroes out. Next video.
Okay.
So in this game you might think that you are the hero that is being kept out, right?
No, I am not.
You do not think that you are the hero, or you're not the hero?
I don't think anything. I'm just staring there in an empty space.
That explains so many things. In this game, you're actually not the hero. You're playing the monsters and trying to keep the evil heroes out that come in and try to steal your loot.
How you win in this game?
Wait, I didn't say it's a co-op game.
Ah, now you said it. If the hero deck runs out, you will win, but it's not that easy to make sure that it does. Each time a player goes, at the end of his turn, he will draw hero cards and they will be added to the dungeon. They will attack,
put traps, kill your monster heroes.
Actually, they don't put traps, they destroy traps.
That's what I said.
No, you did not!
They trap our traps.
This is the most chaotic video we have ever done. So you win if the hero's deck runs out. There's no more heroes that come to your dungeon because you have defeated them all and put them in the prison.
Essentially, it's a tower defense, where waves and waves of bad heroes come in and you with your monster heroes are trying to... Not official terminology, by the way, in case you're wondering. When it's your turn, you're gonna be playing cards from your hand. And those cards let you do all kinds of cool things. For example, they will let me place new mice onto the board. They will let me move the mice. They will let me attack with my mice those evil pesky heroes that are trying to steal our stuff. They will let me use my special ability because this game is asymmetrical in that way that each of us will be playing a different monster hero.
You could just say monsters. We are monsters.
But in a good way. When you say monsters, it feels like we're bad. We're not bad.
We could be bad, who knows? How did we get that loot? How did we get that
inheritance? Look at these meeples. How can these guys be bad?
Looks can be deceiving.
Each of us plays a different monster and each of our monsters has unique special abilities. For example, I have a ton of mice. That makes sense. But if you play the dragon, you only have one meeple and that's it. But he's a big and strong one. At the end of my turn, I will open up cards that trigger how the heroes will move or what the heroes will do and which heroes will move and which heroes will appear in the board, etc, etc, etc. And we did mention that it's a deck building game. During your turn, you might add some cards to your discard pile that later you can play.
If you're doing good, you will add more, but a lot of times it's just few cards that you will add and it's more important which ones, so there's a synergy with your character. There's different scenarios, different map on the board. Each room will give you like coins, different resources that you can use to do stronger things or buy something, as well as there's different like main bad guy each scenario. So
boss fight.
You have to work together. If I don't do your part, then we're kind of screwed. It's really cute, it's co-op, it's deck building. What's not to like? But we're gonna talk about the things we like and not like in this video. So we should jump to the first question, which is...
Who would you buy this for?
3, 2, 1. My first co-op.
Oh, along the same lines. New to games but tired of pandemic?
This one is like your first steps to like getting to Spirit Island and all those. You know, those are crazy if you're just starting out this hobby, then starting with Spirit Island. Respect to you. But this one shows off the good sides of co-op. It's quite easy to get to the table, not too complicated, but yet challenging. And there's a ton of scenarios and stuff to try out.
I played this with my kids the most, hence it's also a nice family game. I mean, look at those meeples. They're super cute. The rules are simple. Each of those scenarios can be played in multiple difficulty levels. And there are a ton of different monsters you can play. 9 different ones you can play. And each of them feel different. Want to try something new and just starting out? Maybe try keeping the heroes out. What are the best things about this game? The scenarios. There are 20 of them, plus there are suggested campaigns you can play, where you play certain scenarios in certain order, and there's extra rules on them. Each of the scenarios have extra rules. With this basic mechanism, you can squeeze out so many different narratives.
Co-op? This is a good example of a co-op game, how it should be. Because I have to bring you these resources, I have to protect this wing so it's safe, and you have to do that. Like, talk about it, we can strategize about it. Either we work together or nothing happens.
We didn't mention that, but how the heroes activate. When they move into a room, they can like activate the other ones there. So there's this chain reaction of things, and you can kind of expect that. You should go there because he might activate that, and then there's the wizard gonna be there, and wizard does that. A lot of table talk, which I think is the best thing in co-ops.
Well, actually, my number 2 is maps and levels, which you talked number 3, but his list is wrong, so this is the right way.
Wait.
Yes, good,
Okay.
brilliant. Level design is really cool, just seeing different stories as well. The level of difficulty rises with each challenge as well, so it's really cool.
Well, show me what you get.
Creatures.
It's like we made the same list.
It's like we're reviewing the same game. The creatures, they're really, really unique, and they're the most fun thing about this game, because choosing which one, some are defenders, some are attackers, some are support. Each player usually likes kind of one of those roles. Everyone has their different play style.
To be honest, I bought this game only because of the meeples. I didn't know anything about the game, and thankfully the game is just as good as the meeples are. Or is it? But up next, why this game might not be for you.
There's quite a lot of downtime, especially if you play with more players. You have to play all of your cards, move, shoot, then the bad guys go, and it takes quite a while, and then there's 3 people doing that. Feels like quick-paced game? It's not that quick. There's quite a lot of downtime.
But it's not as bad.
Yeah, it's down there, and if you're patient enough, that's not a problem, but there will be downtime.
Remember when we said this is kind of like a deck building game? Kinda is. On average, you're gonna add what, 3, 4 cards, maybe? That's already pushing it, 4 cards to your deck. Yeah, it is deck building, but it's a little bit of deck building. Just a little bit. Just like these meeples are cute, it's very cute saying this is a deck building game.
For me, it's you have to, where you have to do that thing or else will you lose. You would want to get that resource and buy that new card that's shiny and is there, but you can't do that deck building because you just have to do that. And from time to time you will get to points where you just have to sacrifice your like 2 turns, just you have to do that or else we're gonna lose. Just there's the right way to do it.
And last thing is House of Cards. There's like a chain reaction of things happening, and sometimes you're just not gonna be able to stop it. You're gonna prepare as best you can, but sometimes there are gonna come up heroes that somehow trigger each other in a way that you just lose. And there was not really anything you could have done. It's just unlucky, draw the card.
Well, for me, it's the last thing, which is the biggest one, solvable, because my gaming group really enjoyed this game. We love co-op games, we love strategy games. And when you take this game seriously, calculate what bad guys will come, like get the odds, then this game becomes quite solvable. Let's do this very efficient strategy, and it almost always worked. Maybe you won't win always, but you will for sure feel like we did the best we can with this same kind of system.
If you don't do this for fun, you mean?
Well,
we're here to win this! So the next question is, how long's the honeymoon?
I'll tell you how long it is.
Oh, I bet you will.
3, 2, 1. Somewhat there. Going through these scenarios is super fun. Even if you're like cracked it, playing it to the highest difficulty where it's tougher and more random, it's there.
Well, I have a similar thing. I'm like, don't be like him, and the arrow's pointing. Oh, your way. It's a good beginner co-op where people are just gonna play for fun, and it's gonna be long. So what is the best alternative?
3, 2, 1. Castle Panic.
Huh. I went heavier. I also felt that it has, well, first of all, nice theme if you like Harry Potter, but it's a deck builder. I kind of went with the deck builder aspect here. That actually is for reals, but it's still kind of simple. There's like 7 scenarios in that one. It's also quite accessible. The basic gameplay is simple. I feel that is a good alternative for me.
For me, it's Castle Panic, which is also a bit more random than Keep the Heroes Out, but it's a really nice family game with very light, also castle defense, where you just have to protect the middle of the game board with different cards. You play cards and you attack different sectors and defeat the monsters. Also, there's a lot of luck elements because you draw bad guys from the bag. There's a ton of expansions that make the game even more interesting.
So what is the final rating?
3, 2, 1. Good.
Oh. Yes, very. This is a fantastic game I can enjoy with my whole family, with kids. With kids, I'm somehow more fine with the downtown. Downtown? Did I say downtown? Yeah, and you can enjoy it with non-gamers and gamers alike. It's a really good but really nice asymmetrical co-op game that anybody can enjoy.
Yeah, it's easy to sell, to get to the table, to just show off. It's a solid and good game.
Yeah.
I overall enjoy it.
And there's no text on the cards whatsoever, so even if you're playing a bilingual gaming group, it's fine. Nobody has to read anything, you just have to explain the rules.
So that's the review. Hope you know if this game is for you. Will you be keeping the keep the heroes out?
Keep the heroes out, you mean?
Or keep out the keep heroes out? No?
No.
Keeping?
You're keeping too much.
Will you keeping something and not
Stop.
keeping something? It doesn't matter, will you?
Stop keeping talking. Stop. Whatever. Move on.